Hi guys, Phil Radford here, and today we're just going to be looking at creating some kind of holographic display, and also creating different elements, building them up in Maya, and we'll composite them in After Effects or add some effects in After Effects. But the real reason behind this tutorial is that you can create yourself a library of holographic effects. Which you can then build up in After Effects and create like holographic templates, so maybe you could sell them or something like that. I'm going to do that for sure. Alright, so first off, Maya's the best tool for this, simply because just doing your holographic effects straight in After Effects, it's not as easy to get some nice sort of 3D wireframe effects going on, so let's get on with it. So first, you are going to need like a really small amount of After Effects knowledge for this tutorial, because we're just going to break the mold and jump over there momentarily. So firstly, inside the Maya scene, you want to use the shortcut to get a different background colour. So we're going to hold down Alt and B to give us a black background. You can keep pressing that and go through different background colours. And then right back to the default, but Alt B, and that's going to get you to black, and that's exactly what we want. The first thing I'm going to do is create a camera. I'm just going to put it back a little bit, and I'm just going to set my render settings, even though I'm not going to be rendering from here. I'm just going to set them to HD because I want to see my film gate. There we go, and I'm just going to bring up a second panel and have a look through that camera. Cool, and I'm just going to stick something in the scene. Let's start with, I don't know, let's start with something like that, and I just want to see what it's going to look like in here, because momentarily I want to lock off the camera. So that's the gate, and we can see we're flat on, so that's fine. So I'm just going to get the outliner open, not on node editor, window outliner, and I'm going to go to the camera, and I'm just going to select all of these and lock them so the camera can't move anymore, and so now we can go into that camera. I'm probably going to get rid of the gate now entirely, and you'll see why in a bit. So here we go, we've got a bit of geometry in the scene. Let's just rotate that around to about 90 degrees. Excuse me. So the first thing I want to do is bring up our sort of handy little menu that we're going to use throughout this little tutorial, and that is going to be display polygons, and I'm just going to tear that strip off by clicking on the tab at the top. Okay, so basically what we're going to be doing is using Maya's interface to create some wireframes and different elements like vertices and UVs and stuff, and because we're gonna render them on black, or rather play blast them on black, we're then gonna bring them into After Effects, and we'll just use some kind of mode to get rid of the black, like an add or an overlay or a screen or something like that. So the first thing we want to do, I'm just gonna create short clips, because we could loop them and then use them in After Effects, and we can reverse them in After Effects or whatever. So for this one, I'm just going to key S, and I'm going to go to 50, and I'm going to rotate this round all the way. I'm just going to give you a clue as to what I'm rotating. I'm going to go hello, that's the wrong one. Where are we at? I'm going to go minus 360 in Y. I'm going to key selected. I do believe that so I've gone off my angle a little bit. That'll do. Anyway, right. So we got this spinning, and what we don't want is we don't want the ease, the Bezier curve on the animation at the end of it, because it's not going to loop nicely, and then it's always going to come to a slow stop and then slowly start up again. I'd rather have that linear. So it's going to go to the graph editor and I'll grab those curves, and I'm just going to hit the linear curve there. So that's just going to continuously loop, as you'll see now. Okay. So we can render this off as one pass, but what I think I might like to do is, because it's looking a little bit complicated in the depth, I'm probably going to turn on back face culling, so we get rid of the back face as it turns, and it just makes it like an easier object to look at. So that's fine, that's like the first element I'm going to go with, and so I'm just going to go into my play blast options. I'm going to go start and end is 50. I'm going to render IFF. I want to switch off anything that I don't need. Now let's hit apply. So there we go, that's rendered off quickly as we would think, and then I'll just save that animation as a cylinder rotate plane, I don't know, and hit save and allow that to go off and save. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to play around with some different looks that we can get out of Maya. So if I just click on vertices here, we can now see we've got some verts showing up, and that might be cool just to sort of composite over the top. Some normals we could play with. We can also play with vertex size as well if you wanted bigger ones, but I quite like little ones. And we can click on like the various ways of viewing the edges, so this gives us like a nice sort of outline look. The soft and hard edges, that's going to show like the these nice little sort of wireframe look, and also we can right click on it and we can go down to vertex face. That's going to give us another look entirely. Now if you don't touch anything, you just play blast, you're going to get this look sort of for free. So that's another one I think I'd want. I won't play blast it now. Yes, I will. I'm just going to play blast it, and we'll save that off as what did I call the last one? I'm going to call this circle vertex face, and it's also got the little vertices showing on it as well. We'll just let it go off and save. So just right click on this and go back to object mode. You can see there's like a little blue version we could render off as well, just because it's not selected. We could turn on vertex normals, tangents. There's all sorts of little things we can play around with. But something else I like to do, let's just turn off border edges. Oh yeah, but hang on, before we go get ahead of ourselves too much, I would like this wireframe to be anti-aliased. So what we need to do is, because we're not rendering it, and we're not using the viewport either, we're just using a standard Maya default renderer. We're just going to go into shading, and we're going to go down to smooth wireframe, and that's going to sort of smooth our wireframe out, obviously, and anti-alias it a little bit, which is exactly what I want. Now the other thing we can do is show up some triangles within this. Now, so we could go up and do that in the polygon menu, but we can do it down here as well. So we go face triangles. That's another sort of neat look we could render off and just composite over the top. Yeah, so just sort of really I just kind of like to play around and just look at different effects I could create. We can turn all of these off, and again we can turn on the vertex face and another different look. What I might do is just go down into this area and see if there isn't some other things we can do. I mean, we could animate this up, turn round caps on, bring the subdivision caps up. Again, an interesting effect. All these things you can't do in After Effects. We could rotate this round and create some kind of initiation. If I just turn off those face triangles for a minute, which is quite nice because I've turned off the different colouring options in here. Now we're showing just vertices. We can do things like this. I mean, it's different. I wonder if that's showing border edges or crease edges. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. Anyway, that's another look. Oh yeah, there we go. So it's showing up the underneath of that. So, sorry, I should be speaking here, but I'm just playing around with some different ideas. So if I was to duplicate that, revolve it around, and then pairing it to that, it's going to get the same move on it. And we've got, again, something different, molecular looking perhaps. Make some of it smaller. And so what the point of this is just to get lots of different elements that we can build up and create some interesting effects. And I beg you to just play with it and just keep saving off different versions, keep rendering off different elements, animating strange things such as this. I mean, if we get rid of this, and if we create a sphere now, we could delete some of it. Because the history is going to go a bit wacky now, that's going to work in our favour, because it's going to give us some odd effects. Again, not easy to create if someone comes up and asks you, but basically it's using like a Maya error in a way to you'll see what I mean. So let's keep the vertices. So this isn't doing anything at the moment because we've messed with the history. Now when we try and change the subdivisions, we're going to get this kind of effect going on, you see. So if I get rid of those vertices, you can see we've got this going on, and that's great to animate. So maybe we start around 60, let's take it up to 100, 200. Alright, I'm just going to key that. I'm also going to go and key the visibility to 0 at first. I'm going to step forward 1 frame and I keyframe that on. Maybe I'm just going to come up to 50 and I'm just going to bring this down to sort of there and keyframe that. And then we've got some like really weird kind of little holographic type thing. Maybe it just draws on something that's going to be in the center of it. But all these little elements stuck inside small windows and stuff inside After Effects over the top of something, so you know, for some kind of heads up display. These are all handy little things, and they're really, I mean, this would be really difficult to recreate in After Effects in the time. Yeah, you would be able to do it in After Effects, but it's in the time that we've been able to do it in 3D. And again, as I say, we're just using Maya's interface really to just create some cool effects, and we can just render off different passes. You know, so if we just render off, if we turn the vertices off, let's just do this. Maybe this is the one I'm actually going to look at in After Effects. So we'll just do a quick play blast of this. Okay, I'm going to save that. AE curve hollow, odd naming convention, but whatever. You'll notice that we haven't got we have got an alpha channel on this one, and then I think I'm going to go into some sort of vertice look, and I might might see. If I can get rid of. Let's just get rid of vertex size and bring that down a bit. Yeah, I might use that as well, just to composite over the top. Maybe I'll reverse that over the top or something. A underscore curve follow verse. Right, I'm not going to spend too long in After Effects. We're just going to have a quick look. Let's see if there's just something else we can pump out. Let's get rid of that. Let's have a look at that. See, I don't like it when it's like that, but I do like it when it's like that. That's pretty neat, so I might just use that part. And we could just use that really briefly in After Effects. Just turn the vertex off. Yeah, so that's mine as well. Hollow. I don't know what are these. Let's just call them quads. Let that render off. Okay, so that's about it for this. Obviously, I've rendered hundreds of these off over the past few days, and I'm going to put them all together and see if anyone wants to. Because just for an understanding, there's a lot of people out there that buy this stuff straight off the shelf because it's a lot easier than creating it. And I know that it hasn't got any 3D capabilities, but you can still stick it onto like a 3D layer in After Effects and rotate it around a bit and stuff. But if you wanted to do a 3D scene, they'd be doing it in 3D. But a lot of this stuff sells, on some of the what are those sites called, iStock and that kind of thing. They love this sort of stuff, and a lot of people buy this kind of stuff. So it could be a way you guys could just make just a little bit of money just from your talent and skill. So let's go into After Effects. I'm just going to go composition, new composition, and I'm just going to scroll. Well, actually, it's done already for me, but I'm just going to stick it this HD setting. Okay, I'm just going to make it a true black layer to start off with. Right, and let's start bringing in some effects that we've been doing. Ooh, where did I save this? Excuse me, my projects, holographic elements, images. Circles, a hollow verse. Let's bring that in first. Let's just drop that into the scene and see how that looks. Cool, came in as expected. I'm just gonna check if this got an alpha. It won't show up with the background on it. It has got an alpha. Let's bring in another one. I'm just going to drag this into the scene as well. Don't know why it looks like it's such bad quality though. I might reinterpret this without the map, and then I'm just going to use an add. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Fine, and then I'm just going to bring in It's probably because it was bringing it in, it was matting it with a colour. I could have turned it to straight, but let's don't worry about it. Keep that off for now. I'm going to turn this to an add as well. So for the bottom one, I don't really want to be seeing that until we get sort of around here maybe, and then I mean we could like do some kind of cool initiation thing. So we just take the opacity down to 0, go forward a frame, bring it up, down, up a bit, down, up a bit, down a bit, up a bit, down a bit. Go have a laugh and you're right. So let's just see how that looks when that sort of animates in. It's looking a bit crazy, but we are only running over like 2 seconds. So I don't want to be seeing all those verts at the beginning either. They're winding me up a bit. Now I know it looks mental, but let's grab all of it, duplicate it. Now you see the first one. I think the first one, when I animated that history, it had a smooth on it. Now if we just pre-compose this one, actually no, let's delete it and let's just pre-compose this one. Move all the attributes into the other do-flam. Hello. Hello. I'm just gonna split a layer there. Edit split layer. Okay, and then I'm just gonna right click on this new one. I'm just gonna time reverse it and bring that to about here. So then we've got something that lasts 80 frames rather than 50. So it makes for a neat little, you know, if this was you know, let's say this is our HD screen, you wouldn't want this as your main effect, because it's not detailed enough and it's a bit bonkers. But we could just, you know, it could be part of a bigger thing, like it's running down here in a window, and then with loads of elements like that, then you're creating some really quite cool. You see how nice that looks when it's down there like that, just, and that little flicker really works. Yep, and then let's just say we want to bring in some other elements. I created some of these earlier. What we got? Rotating 3D axis. I don't even know what this stuff was. I did quite a lot of it. Let's bring this down here. Oh yeah, this was quite nice. Again, you know, that's just a cylinder that I've extruded some bits and bobs, and I've just rendered off the verts pass. Okay, and that loops quite nicely as well. I can't really show this in HD because it's going to be bigger than the monitor, but let's see what we can do. So, you know, this could be our main one. We start building up loads of elements over the top of it, or we can scale it down and it could be part of our other animation down here. Yeah, so it's just sitting inside it. It looks pretty neat. Yeah, I'll go with that. Let's bring something else into the scene. What else? Something triangle-y. Bring this down here. So I'm having a mess around with all of this so you guys can see it. Oh, here's another one I've created. So this was a triangle created from a torus. I just pulled the poly count down so it made a triangle, a pyramid type thing, and then I just animated the poly count up and down. So the visibility off, visibility on, animate the poly count, all pulls into the center, and then this was a vertex face mode as well. And this one I like because it's almost like a targeting system. So if I just play that, and it doesn't have to look like that. Obviously, we could bring the opacity down on this one, and then create another one, and bring the opacity up a little bit, and scale that up slightly more. So we've got a little drop thing going on, and it could all sort of flash at the same time. I'm just winging it here. And this, for the purposes of this little tutorial, I'm just going to make our stuff a bit bigger down there because I can't see it, so you probably can't. So maybe these dudes sit inside. Maybe they are the enemy type thing, or it's just part of the display. I'm not sure I like that second drop. I'm going to get massively carried away here. So anyway, this particular one, we could just generate some kind of rays from it. Effect, generate, let's just go with CC Light Burst. Obviously I don't like to use it in its standard way, so if we take that back and let's just take, so we have to get rid of the animation if I do that or whatever. Let's just take that down a bit and then duplicate that, and on the top one turn the CC rays off. We've then got a nice sort of, you know, drop off perspective thing going on, like so. Yeah. But I beg you to just go and play with all this. I'm literally just making this up as I go along for this tutorial. I'm thinking this is looking a little bit garish, to be honest, but you know, as I said, I'm just winging it right now, just showing you what is possible, and I'll leave you to make some of your own cool stuff. As usual, if you do decide to make any of this sort of stuff, I would love to see it. I'm a big fan of this kind of holographic type thing. Just bring that down a bit. So obviously we can recolor everything. You know, if we just wanted one of these red, we just mask it out and just do one red and the rest not. And you know, so we just subtract that one, and then the others show up, and then we just go into this one. Let's go effect, color correction. Maybe we'll just go hue saturation. Could even just mess with the saturation, colorize it. You know, change it to color. Pink looks pretty neat. Or I could all do it over time. You see, so. But I suggest you get bonkers with After Effects, because that's where it all comes together nicely. Anyway, guys. Do you know what? I really don't want to leave it. I might carry on playing afterwards, but you know, again, this could just be like a really small part of an interface. You know, just work on the bigger picture. So I'm wrecking all the different elements by doing this at the moment. But yeah, anyway, let's just let this render. I just want to see what it's going to look like. Could be interesting. Yeah, that's neat. That looks neat, and that would take you flipping hours to do it in After Effects. Now I know this needs loads of fine tuning. These triangles, they're not working for me at the moment, to be honest. But play around with different overlays and stuff like that as well. You know, just you get some cool effects. And yes, good luck. Cheers, guys. Take it easy. Bye bye.